Look who's joined me. This is Earl. And Earl can tell you. Oh, Earl, man. We're filming. I think Earl needs to get to his trailer. Can we get Earl to his trailer, please? What's up, connectors? DK here. Got another quick question from the email bin that came in asking me about leaving money on the table. Or another way of putting it, is it appropriate? Is it necessary? Is it just the way things are when you work at a nonprofit organization to chase money? And the short answer is, of course not. There is always time when it's better to leave money on the table. But that's easy to say and hard to do. So what do I mean by this? What's the importance about the money thing? Well, we all know this because if you are an executive director, if you are a development director, if you are a board member, if you are any person on staff of a nonprofit organization, you've probably been asked to try to obtain, connect to, or build up some money to get some fundraising, get some revenue into the door so that you can do the job that you're trying to do. And very often when we do this, we see glimpses of money out in the distance. We see a potential funder who's saying, hey, come this way. I can give you some of that sweet, sweet, sweet cheddar that you're looking for, but I'd like you to sort of focus on this, or I'd like you to sort of maybe pay attention to a program like this, or here's a brand new idea that I think you guys should be doing, and I'll help you fund it. Now, are they good ideas? Yeah, they might be, but there's a bigger question that comes up when these things happen, and that is mission creep. We start an organization with a purpose, something that has made that tuning fork go off in your heart. There's a passion for something. You want to push an issue. You want to support something, advocate for something, develop something. And that's where the organization begins on. But then these dollar potentials are out there. And they say, well, this is sort of like what you do. And this is something that you could sort of add on. Or maybe this is a program that this person who has the dollars is saying this would help your mission. But in your heart of hearts, it isn't. And then there's this quandary. Because you have an organization, you have a budget, you have staff, you have people that are relying on you. You're trying to get revenue in so you can do the great programming that you want to do and therefore make the mission that you're working toward greater, make it better for your community. But very often when we do this, we strike a real difficult balance between what we're doing and then moving off that path, even if it's ever so slightly, and mission creeping ourselves into something else. Organizations are constantly, I would argue, a devolving pattern of moving away from their core mission. And they do it not because they want to move off their mission, but because the mighty dollar is what pulls them in. There is a great adage that says, do not chase money, chase great ideas. Chase the idea, chase the connectivity. The dollars will come if you have a good idea. But if you go the other way and you pull in dollars, you run the risk of just really jettisoning that initial idea, the initial mission that you had when you built the organization. And that might devolve you into an organization that is a little bit sporadic in their mission and it's a little bit sort of disjointed. And from that becomes a lot more problem, a lot more headache, a lot more angst, because then you'll have separations of your staff and you'll have splits on your boards and you'll have everything like that starts moving into the space that's created because you split your mission. I'm not going to sit here and tell you need to leave money on the table all the time and that the principle of it will hold money away from you. I'm actually not saying that. What I'm saying, though, is that there is a very common and very easy notion of an executive director or a development director going to a relationship, start friend raising and building into the fundraising. Get to the ask. Realize that the ask has qualifiers on it, restrictions on it, or just new ideas that the organization isn't doing. You have that. It's coming. You could feel it coming to you. And all of a sudden, you say to yourself, I don't know if we should take this. The moment that happens, the moment you have that feeling of this is not necessarily where it needs to do, you need to go back into the organization. You need to think about its core mission. You need to ask yourself the why. Why do we do this? Why are we? Find your why of your organization. See how that matches into the value of your organization. What values do you cherish within your organization? And see if this matches. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean this relationship is over with this potential donor. It just means the conversation has to keep going. Push back to the donor. Challenge the donor. Ask him or her to say, you know, if you were going to give this dollar to us and you were going to give it to this particular idea or program, what about allocating that money to something here, something that we're doing currently? If they are willing to give, they must have confidence in you, your team, your board, and your organization on some level. And even if their interest or their agenda was to bring on this money along with a new program or new idea, they should at the very least be willing to hear you out, to say, wait a minute, I'm not sure that we can do that because it's going to move our mission on a path that we shouldn't really be on. But here's what we do, here's how we do it, and here's how your support could help us there. But here's another novel idea. Maybe you sit down with that donor and you say to them, I don't think we're the right place to park this donation, but here's some collaborators. Here's some partners in the community that I think maybe we could work together on. You might not be getting the dollars directly, but the idea for the program, the donor, the support can carry on. What can that do? That can show your donor that you're hearing what they are interested in doing, but you're also seeing the bigger picture. You're realizing that this may not necessarily be for you and for your mission and your program, but it might be good for the community. And because you're seeing the wider shot, you're looking at the community as a whole, you're able to bring in some other collaborators. That donor is going to be so appreciative of that. I'm willing to bet that they're going to want to do more business with you. And so maybe that donation that was initially going to go to you, that now is going somewhere else, comes back around to your organization in the form of another donation or some more leads from that donor, or that donor gets more involved, whether they put more time and talent or treasure into your organization. The benefits of an honest conversation talking about your mission and the importance of staying on target will reap benefits well beyond the initial dollars of that revenue generator. That's the kind of key that we're looking for. That's what I mean by don't chase money, chase good ideas. So connectors, I'm going to end it right there. I hope you got a little bit out of this. I hope that helps you a little bit when talking about donations and sitting with potential funders, talking about mission creep, talking about chasing money versus chasing ideas. I hope you really got something out of this. And if you have any questions, please send them to me at doug@connectthedotsmovement.org. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. And again, as always, keep connected in your community, guys. We'll talk to you soon.